Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the weekly reading for July 8th to 15th for the sign of Aquarius. Alright? My lovely Aquarius, air signs with the water bearer. We're going to get your two angel oracle cards out. And if this is the first time you're here on my channel, watching a weekly reading, I look into whatever main relationship or dynamic you're having this week that's taking center stage in your life. It could be a work dynamic. It could be something to do with your career. It could be a love situation or a family situation, something with friends. It all really depends. So whatever it is, it's the sort of main event, right, in your life this week with someone else. So let's get your two angel oracle cards out right away. Aquarius, we've got letting go of control issues. Interesting. And you deserve love. All right. So letting go of control issues and you deserve love. Interesting. So could be a little bit of a toxic relationship going on there, right? Could be just having to set some boundaries, some rules, some regulations. So we'll get right into your deck, your spread. Let's pull out your 7 cards. I'm going to pull out a card which is your main card for your relationship, the overall energy that defines or signifies the relationship as it is now. And then we'll pull your 3 cards for you and 3 cards for the other individual to signify how you see yourself, how you see the other person, and how you see the relationship. So that's the drill, folks. So let's just see. Cards are a little bit jumpy, so it could be a lot of energies there. Let's get them focused, all right? Aquarius, what's going on for our lovely Aquarius this week? July 8th through the 15th. Show me a nice, concise reading, clear message for those Aquarius who have tuned into this video today, regulars and newcomers alike. I'm going to give you a clear message for anyone who's come by this video. All right? Show me. Interesting. Your first card out, Empress energy. Right, so that's, wow. Okay, so that's your overall card, Empress, bonding, loyalty. But, yeah, the Empress is very much you deserve love energy, right? She's not beholden to anyone but the Emperor, right? She lives in luxury. She enjoys herself. She loves herself. She knows she deserves love, right? 2 of Cups for your card, Aquarius. Wow. Ace of Cups for the other individual. And Page of Cups for the relationship. Your person has Knight of Cups. Wow. The Moon energy for you. And 5 of Wands for the relationship. Wow. Okay, so 2 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. A lot of cups. A lot of love energy. Interesting. So 2 of Swords, you're in 2 minds. There's definitely this feeling of, you know, 2 ways to go here, to, you know, trying to decide, you know, you're trying to decide this energy of trying to decide which way to go here, right? 2 of Swords indicates the need to learn how to balance, to learn how to find an alternative, to transmute these 2, because you simply can't decide between the 2 in the state that they're in now. You're going inside to kind of feel, you know, where you'd really like to be, to kind of feel which one you want, which sword you want, but yet you still can't make a decision. Ultimately, you realize it's all about duality and balance, right? Finding a way to balance 2 sides of yourself, 2 decisions, 2 parts of your life. So Empress energy is interesting. It is, Empress is very much letting go of control issues. She doesn't have control issues, right? She knows who she is. She's the divine feminine. She doesn't need to control, right? She's, she's beautiful. She's luxurious. She has, the magic of procreation, right? The ability to bear, to nurture. The ultimate nurturing is to bear a child, right? So the Empress is, indicative of fertility, right? Loving herself is love of beauty. She luxuriates in the garden. There's not much that she does, but it's just her pure existence, her pure femininity. The power that she has in the divine feminine of herself, right? So this is very much like that kind of energy of realizing that yes, you deserve love. You should love yourself, right? There's no need to have control issues any longer, right? So you see yourself this week. This is your card for yourself. 2 of Cups. You're in love. You see yourself as having met your perfect match. You've met your perfect match, certainly. There's duality. Another 2, right? So we talk about, this week it's all about learning how to come together, learning how to integrate the 2 sides of yourself, learning how to come together in partnership, in bonding, right? In balance with each other. You're in love, right? You're in love, but also it's almost as if you've brought in love because of this overwhelming kind of like love of self that you've displayed. So it's like you brought in your partner. Your partner feels like a Knight of Cups energy, like they just want to come in and just smother you with all the romance. It's not necessarily committed though. Interestingly enough, the Knight of Cups comes in. And this is perhaps where we get the let go of control issues, because they're not necessarily committed, right? And although you feel like you're very much in love and they're very much bringing a lot of romance, they're bringing a cup of love. They're kind of prancing in. We know the Knight of Cups is kind of, he's transient, because the Knight of Cups is the airy aspect of water. Right? So what you're dealing with is someone who's very much in his head about his emotions. They change quite quickly. Just as the air changes, his emotions change. The knight is, he's one up from the princess or the page. He's only just now beginning to understand and skim the surface of his feelings, right? But he doesn't really know he hasn't gone deep into himself just yet. He's still kind of very surface with it. And so, although he's sincere, right? Today, if he says he loves you, he may be very sincere. Tomorrow, he may be very sincere about leaving you as well. This is the individual that people get involved with sometimes, and then they're like, I don't understand how he could act like he loved me so much and then just suddenly disappear and leave me and drop me, because that's how quickly his feelings changed. Just because your feelings don't change that quickly doesn't mean somebody else's can't. And it doesn't mean that, when they tell you they love you, they're not sincere. Simply because someone tells you they love you, that's not indicative of any kind of timeline or how long they're going to remain in that feeling. They could remain in that feeling just for 2 hours. You know what I mean? And be very sincere about it. But the next day you wake up with that person, they're off. Right? That doesn't mean they were lying. That just means that their feelings have no staying power. Right? And so that's why when you're dealing with this kind of Don Juan or man-eater sort of character, you have to be more discerning. You have to be able to pull back. You have to certainly be in your Empress. The Empress does not move for anyone but the Emperor. So, even though you're feeling very much like, oh, wow, I'm in love with this individual, a lot of it is the romance, it's the talking. And then, of course, some of it does involve control issues, because I think you can see that, they're not all the way committed. The way you see your partner is the Ace of Cups. So it's like they're like a whole new type of love for you. It's a whole new inspiration. That could be one of the reasons why they're coming in as the Knight of Cups. Because the way they see themselves could be the way that you've been treating them. You're treating them in a way that makes them feel almost like the knight in shining armor. Because for you, this is all very fresh and new. It also is, as much as it's also a lot to do with the fact that you're feeling very good. You're feeling very sexy and confident. And so you're kind of lavishing them all. You're lavishing them also with a lot of kind of like romance and love and affection. It's blowing them up a little bit though. It's blowing their head up. So even if they aren't like legit the Don Juan, they're certainly feeling like that right now, or they're feeling like the sexy hot woman, because it's like you're kind of blowing them up, right? You're seeing them like this. But then again, Aquarius, the thing with Aquarius is beware, folks. With Aquarius, Aquarius is very much Knight of Cups type of energy when it comes to love relationships, because they're the great humanitarian, right? Aquarius is very, you guys are very kind of, oh, the way you see the world is very expansive. It's so much more expansive. You know, they talk about us going into the Aquarian age now, right? So it's very much like, you know, you can't be contained. Just because you love one person doesn't mean you can't love another person. You know, you very much embody that quality of really having a big enough heart to have a lot of different loves in your life, right? To not necessarily be tied down to any one. And so even though you feel like you're in love, and even though you see your person as this Ace of Cups, this excellent new love relationship, right? It's not to say that in a year or two you won't feel the same way about somebody else, right? And the way you're kind of acting or feel or treating this person is making them feel like they're the number one in the room. But again, like I said, there is also like not necessarily a whole lot of commitment with this individual per se just yet. And so that's why I see the Two of Swords, because even though you're lavishing with them with this kind of affection and love, and you're anyway kind of working the magic of law of attraction by loving yourself, right? You are still in two minds about it, even though you present as though you really, really, you know, you can't, you know, you're totally head over heels. You're still in your own head. You're still very much in two minds about whether or not, do you really want to be with this person, right? They see you, and they see the moon, so you're very mysterious to them. They don't quite understand, you know, they feel like they haven't seen all sides of you, right? And if anybody has control issues, I think it's them rather than you, because they're the ones who are, you know, they're kind of seeing you as like, they're thinking they're not seeing their whole package. They're doubting themselves a little bit. They're doubting your sincerity, I think, because perhaps for them it is a whole new thing. Or it may be very different to have someone like you, as beautiful as you, as confident as you, as handsome even, you know, even if this male, it's not really so much gender specific, but this is more just energy about feeling so self-confident and attractive, right? This type of energy coming at them, it's like making them, wonder, you know, is this sincere? Are they getting the whole picture with you, right? You're making their head feel quite big. They do, you know, they want to know more, but it's kind of scary for them. Now, that's why I'm saying let go of control issues. I think is a lot more to do with them. They don't like the idea of not knowing exactly what they're getting into, and so they probably do fall back on a little bit of control, right? A little bit of a control freak even attitude. You, however, see the relationship as Page of Cups. So again, you feel in love. You see them as a fountain of love, as this new Ace of Cups is a new love, right? Just the exciting beginning stage of a new love where it's outpouring, right? Even though you see that and you feel that, you still see the relationship as Page of Cups, which is very young and not really so serious. And so that's what I'm talking about, you know, Aquarius, your ability to kind of be extremely emotional and loving and sexy and lay it on, right, is not necessarily indicative of the relationship. You can lay all of that on somebody and still look at the relationship as something that's quite, you know, infantile, or not infantile, but not heavy, not very serious, not like you're ready to get married and settle down. But you enjoy the feeling of love and making it as, you know, as much as it can be. And so you're also kind of like seeing it as Page of Cups in a way like, hey, you're in your Empress mode, so you're waiting for them to come to you with a bit more, you know. Keep bringing me the cup of love in a way too, you know. But more than anything, I think you just see it as like not a very serious relationship, right? It could be also that you see how this person, you know, this other person is not as committed. And so, again, you see that the relationship hasn't really taken the step towards a maturity that you would imagine. Because you could see in the way they behave that they're not really as all that mature. They're kind of like, as I said, very much Knight of Cups prancing in, just kind of being open with their feelings, not being open with their feelings to any deep degree, maybe only giving you Page of Cups energy, right? Because they're not that deep. They're more just about the quick romance and the quick sweeping you off your feet. Right? And so you're kind of wary, and that's why you have Two of Swords there, because even though you may feel a lot of love for them, you have no problem moving on, or perhaps, you know, decide, you know, whether you decide to stay or to leave, or to kind of like be ready for this to change and kind of reevaluate it once this relationship has matured a little bit. But you're so confident right now that, you know, if this doesn't become any better, I think you'll just go. This individual does see this as a power struggle, though. Five of Wands. Could be very much like they see as though they have to compete for your affections, or they have to compete for this relationship. They may not be up to the task. Again, control issues. Fives talks all about power struggles between yourself and others. So this person sees this relationship as a power struggle. So it could be very much that they're just not as evolved as you are on a certain level, right? There's certain things about them that you really love, you really enjoy, but there's a few things about the way they act with you. Their suspiciousness, right? Their caginess, and also the kind of little, you know, it could be that when you guys interact, they bicker with you a little bit. They look at it as a woman, like always one-upping you. You know what I mean? It's quite interesting. You ever have a relationship with somebody like that? In one way, it's really nice, it's really loving, and it's, you know, affectionate, but they have these kind of little character defects that makes it kind of almost like, you know, do I want to bother? You know, and it's like really hard to decide, because it's like the character defects aren't so great. It's not like this is a extremely toxic person, but it's just like, they're very infantile in a lot of ways. They're very juvenile the way they act. It can be quite like exhausting to be around. Again, right? Like I said, you see them as young. The relationship is being kind of immature. Page of Cups energy, even though they see themselves as Knight of Cups, you know, ooh, you know, a lot of that, like I said, is you blowing their head up. But they're quite immature, and the way they interact with you, I'm not sure if you're here for it, right? They turn you on. It could be that you very much felt, you know, you did fall in love with them. You did see an opportunity for a great relationship with them. But it's like this week, because this is the message of the reading coming out, I think almost this week, you're starting to open your eyes a little bit and just be like more, Two of Swords, like, I don't know, you know, I deserve love. I don't deserve to have to deal with somebody who's like always very childish, always kind of being suspicious, not making any commitment on top of all of that. It's like, do you really need all of that? You know? Yeah, certainly, you know, if you're embodying Empress energy, certainly you'd want somebody who's at least on the king level, and not necessarily Knight of Cups is certainly being like, you know, the biggest player in the deck. So, yeah, I'm going to call it. It's interesting. I think you're going to see this week, you're going to decide this week, like, you know, it's not like deciding, it's almost like if this doesn't change, you're not going to juggle. You're just going to give up this both of them, right? Any prospect of being with this person, perhaps, if it doesn't work out, I don't know. Because, like I said, it's just like, this childishness is just like, I just don't think you're going to be willing to put up with it, Aquarius, you know? And if they don't kind of like here, like it says, if they don't let go of these childish control issues, childish power struggles with you, and specifically, you know. I think they're going to end up getting on your nerves, and you're going to be like over this, right? So we'll see what happens this week. Let me know if this resonates with you, Aquarius. I'm quite interested to know who out there is dealing with an Aquarius, or which Aquarius out there are dealing with an individual who's like this. And you're kind of like, you know, I did like them. I thought I was in love, and now I just can't stand their behavior anymore because they're just not growing up, and it's just too much of a struggle. So anyway, yeah, if you resonated, like, subscribe, and share. Help me, you know, grow my channel so I can do more of these readings. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed but you resonated with this, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a message in the comments. If you'd like to subscribe and see more of these videos, don't forget to hit that bell as well, so that way you'll get notified of all the videos, not just some of them. Because I do lunar readings as well. All right, so for right now, I'm just gonna call it Aquarius. You make a decision this week. We'll see what it is. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.